On this episode of See, Taste, Do, we're taking a short trip to explore the vibrant art scene in downtown Wichita. First, I dive into Wichita's newest art installation, celebrating the life and legacy of Chester I. Lewis. Then we spice things up by savoring the rich cultural flavors and traditions that make the city's culinary education scene one of a kind. Finally, I turn up the heat and try my hand at a 2,000-year-old art form, sculpting with fire and glass. Join me, won't you? Our first stop here on See, Taste, Do, Kansas is the Chester I. Lewis Reflection Square Park. I'm here with Ella Monique Backus. And Ella Monique, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for being here, and tell us a brief history of Chester I. Lewis and his importance in our community.
Well, this park is such an important place, and we're so grateful to the city of Wichita, their investment in public art, and the Kansas School of Osteopathic Medicine, and Parks and Rec. So the park has been here for some time. It was named in honor of Chester Lewis in the 90s, and this is really a landmark of Wichita history and to celebrate a Wichita hero.
Great. Now, I see there's some different displayed items here. Tell us a little bit about each of these and how those came about. Like, who is the mastermind behind this design of this beautiful park?
Well, the design was part of a team, but I had the honor and the privilege to be able to tell the story of Chester I. Lewis's life through photographs and through drawings and paintings. We also had an opportunity to, when I say we, I mean my family, my aunts, my mom. We worked on a mosaic that's installed in the concrete at the top of the park, and then there's a design of wings and the scales of justice as well, because Chester I. Lewis was a lawyer. And what this represents is every square, every tile, every one of these larger tiles is a block.
Okay.
Right? So it's oriented to the way we're standing. So here's the river. Here's a little part of the river.
Okay.
The middle part here is downtown.
Okay.
And you can see how much of Wichita was redlined.
Wow.
And so it didn't just it affected multiple communities, multiple ethnic groups. If you were not a native-born Caucasian person, then you could be in a redlined area. So if your family immigrated from anywhere, right, you could experience this. And if you drive through the city, you can see, like, wait a minute, the housing is different here and here.
Yeah.
So this brighter red line right here, that's 9th Street, because that was like the heart of the African-American community.
Okay.
It was an important business area. So this represents the city of Wichita, and so green would be like the highest, right?
Yeah.
And then blue, yellow, and then red means you can't get a mortgage loan, you can't get insurance, and these were things this was a federal agency that worked with banks, right, and insurance institutions to make these colored maps across the country. The thing about Wichita that was extreme is Wichita was the 3rd highest redline city in the United States. The 3rd highest. 1, 2, 3.
In the whole
United
country.
States.
Wow.
Yes, the 3rd highest. So this story needed to be told.
Okay, and then tell us about his background, briefly, like his history of his background, where he was born, and then how he ended up here in Wichita.
Yes, so he was born in Hutchinson, and his family had a newspaper. His brothers and sisters, mom and dad, everybody had a role on the newspaper. And he worked for the railroad, he went to the military and served our country, and then he went to law school at KU, and he was top of his class. After graduating, he moved to Wichita, and he began fighting for justice in our city. So we can go to the same swimming pool if we want to because of Chester I. Lewis. He sued the park so that the pools would be open for everyone to swim. And he also fought for integrated places to eat as well. So the first successful youth sit-in, he was their advisor, and he had a leadership role in the NAACP. He also represented trained porters and won a multi-million-dollar case, getting them back pay for all the hard work and hours that they had to do. He also advocated for fair housing as part of the Wichita Fair Housing March, which was like the largest public display where people joined arms and marched downtown so that everybody could choose where they wanted to live. And even down to school integration, because Wichita maintained segregated schools even after Brown versus Board of Education. And he brought that to the attention of the federal government so that children ended up being bused to school so that the schools were integrated.
Yeah. What a remarkable man and what a great civil leader. I mean, I can't think of anybody more deserving than to name Chester I. Lewis with this park. It's beautiful. It's right in the heart of downtown Wichita. I mean, the hustle and bustle, you've got people walking by all the time. I'm sure it's just a gem for the city. So Ella Monique, what does this project mean to you specifically?
Well, it's been such an honor to be able to use my training as an artist, my love for the community, to learn the history. I spent time with Chester Lewis's family. I went to KU and put gloves on and got his archives that he left, all his photographs and his typewritten notes back when they were, you know, the typewriter had to use that tape. And look through things to understand his story. Because before this, if you look him up online, there was like one little article. It was his story was almost hidden. So to be able to bring it to life and to bring it in a way that was so beautiful and accessible, that meant so much. So, and there's multi-levels, so you can see the images. Then there are descriptions on the side. There are QR codes you can scan and you can geolocate a tour, and people will talk to you and explain to you what you're looking at. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity to use my gifts to, you know, impact the city and to educate people about this wonderful person.
Well, we are so thankful for having us today, Ella Monique, and it's been a pleasure, and I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much for being on See Taste Do Kansas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're heading into NICH, the National Institute of Culinary and Hospitality Education here at WSU. Let's see what's cooking in this state-of-the-art kitchen and get a taste of what the students are learning. We're down here at NICH, and we're going to interview Chef Keegan and Chef Bree. They're going to tell us all about the culinary school here at NICH.
Yes, absolutely. Happy to have you here today. We are at the Envision Bistro here at NICH. This is a primarily student-operated restaurant that's open to the public. It's a great opportunity for students in the program to actually apply their skills and learn how to work in a real-world kitchen.
And what do you think, Bree? What's your take on the whole culinary school?
I personally am really passionate about the project that we have that goes on in the Envision Bistro, because most of the time when you go through culinary school and you go off and you do your internship, you're really only stuck doing one thing for the majority of it, or you work a job and you're stuck on a single station doing the same thing over and over again. When they come in here, we actually spend a little bit of time training them on every station so that no matter what, whenever they go out into the workforce, they're going to be able to go out and work any station based off of merit and the skills that they've built while being here.
And tell us a little bit about the difference between out there, the restaurant part, versus the chef's table. What's the difference?
So yeah, the chef's table, which is right over there, you can book up to about 30 people. We usually try to do like a pre-fee menu where you get a salad, a pasta, and one of these beautiful desserts. It's a great opportunity to like be in the kitchen, watching the students cook. I don't know if there's anywhere else in the city where you can do something like that. So it's super special. And then as far as our regular a la carte menu, free to come in 11 to 2, Monday through Friday, any day of the week. Besides Saturday and Sunday, of course.
So we love seeing you all in here. We love seeing you guys. The students love seeing you guys, because when you come in and you do come and eat, that in turn is directly supporting the students and allowing to help further their learning environment.
Absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit about what I'm about to taste, because I'm good and hungry. I haven't ate lunch yet. So tell us a little bit about what we have here.
So our menu is really cool. I really like the fact that we have a small menu, so we're able to really dial in everything. Everything on our menu is very intentional, has a lot of purpose, and there's a little bit of a story behind everything. As a general theme, our goal is to enhance the culinary landscape of Wichita. So we try to reflect that in our menu. So everything we do is indicative of what's happening in Wichita, what's happening in Kansas, and surrounding areas. So there's a lot of ingredients that are, kind of really special to us. We have sunflower shoots and sunflower seeds on this. As we all know, Wichita is, one of the largest Vietnamese populations. So we, pay homage to that with our banh mi sandwich. We use a lot of Asian ingredients that we buy from Asian grocery stores to kind of help support that community as well. And then right here, this is kind of our namesake pride and joy right here. It's our smash burger. It's a traditional smash burger at face value. But we put our own niche twist on it. We do these really great joy fries. That's an ode to Joyland.
Cool.
We do this funky sauce, which is kind of like a take on Freddy's fry sauce. And then we do the thin and crispy patties just like Freddy's does. Because, who doesn't love Freddy's?
Exactly.
So we wanted to do our own spin on that. We we cook our caramelized onions in root beer. So that's kind of like a nod to New Way. So it's kind of just like a generally like all the best parts of like the
culmination of all the cultures.
Yeah. It's like every Wichita burger in one, in a sense. I think it's a really great burger. It's definitely our #1 seller almost every single day.
So we want to learn more about the actual design, and it almost, to me, looks like a piece of art.
Oh,
All of this
absolutely.
looks like pieces of art.
Oh, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit how the art kind of plays into the design and the creation of these items.
Of course. I mean, the new saying nowadays, you hear it all the time, is Instagram eats first. What do people do before they even try their food? They take a little picture, they post it on social media. So like really making sure that our food is presented well and bright and vibrant like that, it's really important to me. Presentation is everything. You eat with your eyes first. So we really do try to incorporate a lot of fresh, vibrant colors and flavors. And with that as well, we also like to highlight a lot of like local suppliers as well.
Yeah.
Especially with like these greens in here. These actually come from ICT Urban Greens.
Oh,
Great
okay.
friend of mine runs that company, and I always like try to like pick her brain on like what things I can add to a dish that will really make it pop. Sometimes we get really great like red microgreens that are like bull's blood beets, and they're super bright red, purplish, and they just really make things stand out.
Food in its entirety is an art form
It
because
is.
not only are you looking at it visually and smelling it before you eat everything, but also just, we've all seen Ratatouille when he takes a bite and then he sits there because he's got the little symphony going on in his
Yeah.
head because of the flavors. It really truly is a culmination of art in every step of the way.
So I would say this would be a combination of Picasso meets Mozart.
There you go.
Throw a little Jackson Pollock in there for fun.
Yeah, and a little bit of Anthony Bourdain.
That's great. Well, I'm excited to try it.
I'm excited for you to try it.
So I will start with this, and then I'll move on to
Absolutely.
what you tell me to go to. I won't eat the toothpick.
I was
can
gonna say,
take
if
them
you
out if
can
you
take
need
it
some.
out, yeah.
That is the best thing I've ever had, and I've never had this before.
Our sriracha is actually fermented in-house by another chef, Chef Keegan. Pickles, all the pickled vegetables that go on there. We make the sriracha mayonnaise, we make the pickles.
I'm gonna need a to-go box.
And
We
then
have plenty of those.
we slow cook that pork for 24 hours at 145 degrees so that it really stays nice and tender, but keeps that structure as well.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
Hats off to both of you
Thank
and
you.
everyone else that made it.
Thank you. That would be Brittany.
These guys over here, man.
Hats off to everybody.
Yeah, these guys,
So next, smash burger.
definitely
Yeah.
get in
Okay.
there.
And I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna eat one of those.
I was going to say, I'm going to say
Yeah.
something controversial. Please eat a fry
I'm gonna
first.
eat that for. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Eat that first. Okay.
Choose your own adventure.
Okay. Here we go. That's my favorite.
There you
Of
go.
everything in town I've had,
There you go.
that's the best. Okay, now it's the smash burger time.
So the smash burger has house-made pickles,
Oh, look at that.
root beer onions, good beef, umami seasoning,
Okay,
and
here we
Amish butter cheese.
You know, I'm not a big onion person. That's onions, right?
Yep.
Those are the
Everybody
bomb
says that.
right
Yeah,
there.
man.
Everybody says that.
It's a true caramelized
I'll
onion.
eat all those onions, and I'm not an onion person. That's great. And now we're moving on to, what was this dish called?
This is
again?
the Kansas grain bowl.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm having troubles here, but I want to try to get a little bit of everything. Okay, here we go. That's fabulous.
Thank you.
I'll eat that all day.
Yeah,
That's great stuff. It's great.
absolutely.
So now we're moving on to the dessert, right?
Star of the show right there.
Okay. And what was it called again?
The Wicked Witch of the Midwest.
The Wicked Witch of the Midwest. I'm going to use another spoon. Should I stir it up or just dive in?
Just dive right in.
Dive right in. A little microgreen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try not to spill it. You know what? That's even better than my homemade ice cream. And I
Yeah.
only have 3 or 4 ingredient
I was
ice
gonna
cream
say,
at home.
get one more bite. There's 2 layers, so that bottom layer, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's chocolate of some
That's
sort?
chocolate, and the same thing, just the top version is made with white
Okay.
chocolate, and it's not aerated, and the bottom is made with dark chocolate, and it is aerated.
And I love chocolate a lot.
I love chocolate too, and this is also a cool ingredient because it's got kind of a flavor of like toasty and nutty, kind of like I tell people like a pistachio and coconut had a baby, and we're actually a nut-free kitchen, so that's really cool. So I can kind of work with those toasty, nutty flavors while still leaving it a nut-free kitchen, which is really nice.
I'm telling you, this is fabulous food. And now that I know about it, I can bring my wife here and we can eat here.
Please do.
do.
And we'll tell all of our friends and family.
Please
That's
do.
great stuff.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having us today. We appreciate it and keep up the great work.
Absolutely.
for
Thanks,
coming.
Phil.
Now we're at the coffee spot at the NICH building and we're going to talk to Miranda Bales and tell us all about what she does here at the coffee spot.
Yes, of course. Well, welcome. So we have been open since about mid-November of 2024.
Okay.
But we have specialty lattes, we have matcha, teas. We are looking to expand our menu eventually and doing like more breakfast items as well. But we do have pastries that are made by students.
Okay.
Chef Bree also helps out with that section as well. But yeah.
So what's the most popular coffee that folks are coming in
Ooh.
ordering, would you say?
You
And
know
let's make
what?
one.
You know what? I would say it's going to be our latte of the month, which is going to be the honey and the bees, which is more of a lavender and honey with espresso. We'll let that brew and steam.
So that's pretty fast, actually, when you made that.
Oh yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
so here's the test. I'd open up the lid here.
Drum roll.
Here we go. Bottoms up.
Cheers.
I like that lavender. I can taste the
Yeah.
lavender and the honey.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. I'm gonna have more.
It's good stuff.
That'll wake you up every morning.
Yes.
That's
yes.
good.
Yes, it will.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yes,
We
of course.
appreciate your time,
Yes,
and this
of
is good
course.
stuff.
Thank you.
And for our final stop, we're at City Arts, where we're going to dive into the ancient form of glass blowing here at City Arts, a craft that dates back over 2,000 years ago. Stick with me as I try my hand at shaping molten glass and creating something beautiful. Hi, Phil Richardson here with See, Taste, Do, Kansas. We're at City Arts and we're visiting with Caitlin Waugh, and she's going to show us how to blow some glass. Let's get started. Caitlin, what's the basic overall steps for blowing glass?
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our pipes here and we're gonna go over to our furnace that is at 2,000 degrees at all times.
Okay.
And we're gonna go in and we're gonna gather some glass, which is about the consistency of honey.
Okay.
And we're gonna bring it over here and we're gonna roll it out so we can pull the glass from the end of it.
All right.
We're gonna add some color to it, and then we'll go back to our furnace and we'll put another clear casing of glass over
Okay.
it, and then I'll form it into a ball, and that'll be your paperweight.
All right.
Are we ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll
So I'm
step
gonna-
away.
I'm gonna come over here. Then I'm just pushing it up to the top so that it's past the end of the pipe.
Okay.
Because the more glass you have on the end, the bigger the paperweight's gonna be.
Okay.
So we're just trying to get this evened out. What I'll do after this is I'm gonna heat it back up
Okay.
so that you can go and add the color.
All right.
So you'll be doing all the creative coloring on this.
Is there any way I can flunk?
No.
Oh, good.
We can always fix any paperweight.
Okay,
So
cool.
just know that this is a perfect step for a beginner.
Okay.
Because if you take like our beginner paperweight class,
Yeah.
we do a lot of the heavy lifting so that all of our students walk away with at least 2 paperweights out of our workshop.
Oh,
So
okay.
we want to
Cool.
make sure that everybody's walking away with a good product.
Okay.
So I'm just going to heat it up for a second here, and then I'll hand the pipe over to you,
Okay.
and I'll let you dip it in that color.
All right. You want me over here or over there?
You're right there is
Okay.
perfect. All right. So I'm gonna have you take the pipe
Okay.
and be sure not to touch further.
Okay.
And then go ahead and just lay it down on there.
Like that?
Yep,
And then roll it.
yep. And you can see how the glass is sticking to it.
And then roll it.
Yep, you can do one more. And of course, we tried to get your same colors.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and so I'm just gonna kind of roll this out just a little bit. And then I'm gonna heat it up, and then we're gonna add some more glass to
Okay.
it. So we want this glass to stay onto our glass here and not fall into the furnace.
Yeah.
So that's why we heat it back up. And I'm just gonna roll it here. Make it all nice and smooth.
Okay.
The other thing we can do is we can make it look funky. Anything you do to it will add texture or bubbles, and you'll walk away with something that has more texture inside of it.
Okay.
So that's why you can always use any of these different kinds of tools to poke holes, divots, anything like that, and that'll always show up as a bubble.
Okay.
So we want to try and form it into a ball. So I'm gonna try and pull that glass up to the end of the pipe and start shaping our paperweight. And you can see there, sometimes you'll get a little divot. And so you just try and smooth that out.
Wow, that's looking great.
And so you can see that bright colored glass in there is the color that you put in.
Okay.
So we're gonna kind of let that cool a little bit. We want to be able to take it off the pipe. So we're gonna add some kind of jack marks in it here just to get started, because that's where the glass is gonna break off. And so we want to get that centered again, and we'll just smooth that out.
You make it look easy.
So you can tell this is one of the reasons that we do some of the major heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So that you do walk away with a good product.
Yeah.
Now, if you take one of our 4-week classes,
Uh-huh.
you're doing all of this.
Okay.
So it is more intensive when you take one of the 4-week classes.
How long have you been doing this?
So I started helping out up here probably about 6 years ago.
Okay.
I'm kind of the B team. I'm not one of our regular instructors. I'm actually the operations and gallery manager here, but we all try and jump in and learn some of the mediums
Sure.
here so we can help. But I have been here for 17 years.
Wow,
So
that's great. Yeah.
shortly after the building was built.
Okay.
And I can't think of another place I want to go.
Yeah.
So, and then we have our specialized tools to make sure that we've got that line pretty secure so we have an even break.
Okay.
And then this also keeps it kind of level. All right, and then just gonna let this cool off for a second. If you can see your blue is gonna be that purple.
Okay.
And then the yellow is that orange.
Okay.
Everything always looks a little bit different
Yeah.
while it's still hot.
Okay.
And so we're gonna walk it over. So we're just gonna edge it a little bit more here because we want a nice even break. And then what I'm gonna have you do is tap the pole up here
Okay.
with this.
This side?
Yep, just go ahead.
Right there?
Yep,
Just a little bit.
a little bit more. We're gonna grab it and we're gonna put it in our furnace that is 1,000 degrees right now.
Okay.
And so that'll cook for about 2 days.
Okay.
And then once it cools down, you're gonna get it.
Wow. Cool. Well, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to show us around City Arts and
Absolutely.
glass blowing. It's been quite the experience, and
Yeah.
I know people will enjoy it when they come down.
Yeah, like I said, we have workshops, we have classes. It's geared towards any skill level. Just have to be 16 and older in
Okay.
order to take it.
Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Caitlin. It's good
thank
to meet
you.
you, and
Nice
thanks
to
for
meet
showing
you.
us around today.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of See, Taste, Do. If you want us to come to your town or tell us about your favorite attraction, contact us at seetastedo@kpts.org. Until next time, get out and discover the beautiful state of Kansas.